All right, hello. Here we go. We're going to be watching the stream. As you can see from the start here, if you're watching this on VOD, then it's 13 minutes and 40 seconds to go until the stream starts. Quite useful as a countdown. It means you can just skip straight forwards if you are watching this later. If you are live, then we're going to be here chilling for the next 13 minutes and 30 seconds until it begins. It seems like the actual, like what we know about this game so far is like pretty light. I was like, actually, probably trying to do some research. It's like not that much that we know about. Which is pretty interesting. Oh, actually, let me just push this on Twitch just to stop it from going off. Yeah, let's get this on. Let's get this on. Perfect. Alrighty. That should sort that. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Yeah, so there should be some codes at some point. I'm actually, let me just try and log in. Yo, Ida, thank you for the 19 months. I appreciate. Thank you. Right, let me see. Gotta log into my Gigabeef Gmail. Apparently there's some codes coming over email. And they all have to be distributed by the end of the stream. Oops. Spinman had a good idea. Basically just like, do like a little ballot and then whisper people the codes. I think that's a good idea. Maybe. And then we'll see. You should give me one. Right, let's see. I don't think they've sent anything yet. I think it's going to start when the actual stream starts, I believe. So, what's going on? This is the Marathon gameplay reveal. So, what's happened so far is that people have known that Marathon is... Oh, hold on. Oh, no, it's fine. People know that Marathon has been kind of something on the back burner for a while. We've been hearing about it for a bit. It's like a very old IP. You can't whisper on TY though, right? What do you mean? You can whisper on Twitch, can't you? On YouTube? Good point. Yeah, because there's no like, there's no messenger on YouTube. That's a good point. That's a good point. It might have to be on Twitch. It might have to be on Twitch. But yeah, so the codes from what I've gathered so far, creators are being given 10 codes. Those codes are going to give you prioritized, like, I don't know, some enhanced way of getting access to like the alpha test or something. But it won't guarantee you. It like gives you like an enhanced entry, something along these lines. So it's not a key to get into the alpha. It's like a potential chance to get into the alpha. Like it's some strange like hype building thing that they're doing, which is kind of nuts. Yeah. So far, basically, Marathon has done a big ARG where people had to do a whole bunch of stuff, the usual ARG puzzle type things, and they revealed the teaser. And the teaser basically had this date in it saying that they're going to release gameplay footage as of today. The show should be starting, in 10 minutes, and then it should run for about an hour. You could just say that you need to be in Twitch stream to be able to draw for the key giveaway. I think that's really basically it. I think it's going to have to be done through Twitch, because otherwise I can't whisper people. So if you want a chance to get a key,
Our full reveal to go ahead and show you some Marathon gameplay live here from Bungie HQ, but we actually have the distinct privilege of being joined by a pretty solid contingent of the Marathon development team in-house. So in addition to some of the folks we're going to be talking to on stage here in just a little bit, we wanted to take the opportunity to get to introduce you to just a few of them here before we kicked off the show. Now, first things first, someone who's been here at Bungie for a little bit and someone who has also agreed we're going to do it on film and make sure that everyone knows that you've agreed to take me on a run at some point. But Kevin Yanis, Senior Design Lead here at Bungie. How's it going?
It's going great. I'm really excited for this truly momentous day.
It's going to be a lot of fun. What about today's show are you most excited about?
Yeah, honestly, I'm really excited for the team, or for everyone to see the team's work on the runners. We've been developing these gameplay fantasies and visual for a long time. I know the community's reacted really positively to some of the previews we've given. And, Bungie games have this immaculate touch and feel, this great gunplay. And with Marathon, we're adding tac shooter elements to it. To really increase that depth and mastery that people expect from our games. So I'm excited to see how everyone reacts to that.
And we're going to get to see a lot of that soon, but we're also going to get to see, you mentioned you get to work on the runners. Can you tell us just a little bit, without spoiling what's on the show, what we're going to see today?
Yeah, sure. With these runners, you're going to see they're pretty archetypical. So you're going to see different but clear and distinct fantasies and gameplay identities and roles. And hopefully people walk away from this understanding how their team compositions are going to look like and what their friends are going to play.
Outstanding. Kevin, well, thank you for being here today, man. We appreciate it. As we go right on down the line, we're also joined by Senior Engineering Lead here at Bungie, Mr. Sean Chan. Sean, how's it going, man?
Hi, I'm great. Yeah, it's really good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for asking. That's so nice of you. For folks out there that may not know what it is a Senior Engineering Lead does, what do you do here at Bungie?
Yeah, I make sure everything works. So, like, if something doesn't work, Kevin comes and calls me, right? This doesn't work, come call me. Everything's like, call Sean if it doesn't work, you know?
I mean, it's a huge undertaking, obviously, here working in video games. It's such an intersection.
This is for Marathon, a new game that's coming soon. We don't know much yet.
For people to see?
We have a lot of cool tech that people haven't seen yet, like stuff that can happen in this game that we just haven't seen before. Right, so this will be the first time they see it. I'm really nervous, and I hope everything works well.
Being nervous means you're both excited but want it to go well, so that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Well, Sean, thank you for being here today, man, too. We really appreciate it. And of course, as we go on down the line, we're also joined by Marathon's narrative director, Julia Narden. Julia, how you doing?
Really excited, Andy.
Today, we're obviously going to get a lot to show, or get to show off a lot rather today here in just a little bit. But what are you most excited for people to see?
Oh man. So as you know, we've been treating this as both a reimagining of and a direct successor to the original trilogy, which means we've been taking that really rich, textured world building from the original games and using it as sort of a sacred foundation that we want to continue building on. And finally, we get to share some of that with our community today.
It's very exciting, and selfishly, as someone who grew up playing the original trilogy with his dad, it's been so much fun getting to talk story with you. Can't wait for everyone to get to see. Anything in particular, anything else that you're excited for people to get to dig into as they learn more about Marathon? We've unleashed a little bit with the ARG and everything, but any thoughts so far?
If I said it, I'd get in trouble, so I think I want to keep it a surprise.
Fair question. All right, well, we got a big show coming up. Thank you, Julia, for being
We
here.
don't really know.
Thank you all, too, for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it a ton.
It's a looter shooter of some kind.
All right,
but whether it's extraction specifically
now, everyone,
or not.
So we'll be back in just a little bit on the other side with some Marathon gameplay. Don't go away.
This is the thing. It seems like it's a bit of a mixture of a few genres. I don't think it's going to be exactly like Tarkov-like extraction shooter, but it seems like it's going to be something along those lines. From what I know so far, the Marathon IP, the first game's like really, really old. So they were like really, really, really archaic. They're like old like Apple games from back in the day. And so it's the same world, but I think the gameplay is going to be completely different. So the original one, right, it's these ones here. Marathon first-person shooter developed by and published by Bungie in 1994 for Apple Mac. So several centuries into the future in outer space, sets the player as a security officer attempting to stop an alien invasion aboard a colony ship named Marathon. So this game, this Marathon, the new Marathon, is about, I think, the aftermath of this, from what I can gather, and it's something to do with you're a runner who's like a cybernetic entity who goes in and scavenges stuff from the colony down on the surface, and the Marathon ship also is up in orbit, but I think it might be dead now, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, gonna be a Windows port, Mac native. I love it. Like Halo before Halo, kind of, yeah. I've not actually played the original one. I kind of wanted to try it, but I haven't got a chance yet. Marathon is a Doom-like that also carried over lore and references to Halo. Yeah, so it's like Marathon was like a super, super old, kind of like went from that into Halo. Bungie went from that into Destiny, that into, bringing back the Marathon IP with everything that they've done so far. So it's like, it's quite exciting because, you know, they're other games, people love them, right? So. And they're really teasing this stuff. So far it's been like, you know, all the games in the making, and then there was the teaser, and then there's an ARG, and then the ARG has opened up a trailer for a teaser. The teaser's coming today. Like, it's crazy. It's like actually crazy. What's the drop on this? I actually don't know. I actually genuinely don't know. So yeah, so there's some keys. There's some keys which gives you, it's some kind of like enhanced chance to get into the alpha. It's the way that it's been, the way that it's kind of been positioned. So, yeah, it's like, it's a priority code, so it doesn't guarantee access to the alpha. But I don't have those codes yet. I think they're going to come through basically when it starts. There'll be 10 of them. I'm pretty... Well, you're going to have to be in Twitch chat, because otherwise I won't be able to whisper people for those codes. And we'll just do like a little number guessing game. Whoever gets the number, I'll whisper that person and send them the code. And there should be 10. I have to give them all away within 2 hours. But the actual thing is only on for an hour. So I'm going to be on for about an hour and from now-ish. Things with Destiny got a little rough after they acquired by Sony. I hope this can be good. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I don't want to be too, you know... I don't want to be too, like, upbeat about it, because you just never know with these new games, but... Given the developer, it's, like... Yeah, pretty promising. But the art style is, like, really wild. Like, the art style is, like, this kind of thing. It's, like, really vibrant. It's a bit like the Cycle. It's a bit like a really high saturation version of the Cycle. There's like a few, you know, random images and stuff that are appearing in various Discords and whatnot that people have been sharing. You know, stuff like this. This says like A-class thermal insulation. It's like camera feeds, like old camera feeds on their Twitch channel and stuff was looking like this. Like quite, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's like, so it seems like it's going to be a class-based shooter. Some people may not like that very much, but we'll have to see. Yeah, but no one really knows yet exactly what the format's going to be. I guess we'll see. But it could end up being something like Delta Force in some ways. Sounds like it could be like Cycle Frontier. Yeah, it actually kind of looks like it as well. I don't know. Like, Cycle had some good stuff going. I like the world. There were just some issues with it. I'd rather class-based than hero shooter. Yeah, this seems like what it might be, but... Oh, yeah, Mirror's Edge. Yeah, a bit like, yeah, like super high saturation Mirror's Edge and Cycle combined. Something like that. I hope this game is good, because gaming's been really lackluster for the past few years. I think there's been a few good things, but they're mostly on the indie side. There's not been much, like, blockbuster gaming, I would say. From what I've seen, the base gameplay is similar to, but not the same as Tarky, ABI, Delta Force. I'm always feeling like it's probably going to be as similar to Delta Force. I imagine a rich map and, you know, lots of interactive stuff and whatever. I don't know how the loop's going to work. That's going to be the most interesting part, I think, but we'll have to see. Yo, Joe, thank you for the gifted, man. Off topic, Cycle had Tarkov level potential. I know, it's sad. It is sad. It is sad. Would you send me a key if I asked super nicely? No, we'll have to play a guessing game over on Twitch. I can't whisper people on YouTube, so if you want a chance, you'll have to be in Twitch chat for it. You can just open up Twitch chat. You don't have to watch the stream on Twitch if you don't want to. But you can open up Twitch chat and close the Twitch window. Yeah, it did just kind of flounder, yeah. Which is a shame, really. Like, they struggled with cheaters at the beginning and the usual cycle of stuff. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Like, the Cycle had... God, that's loud. The best part about the Cycle was the whole, like, constant infill thing. That was insanely cool. This is just calling, saying, I'm off to a barbecue. Oh, no. They threw hard with the game. Yeah, they rushed release and lost to cheats. It's so hard not to lose to cheats if you're a small dev team, though. It's hard. What is on your video preview? What do you mean? What, the thumbnail? It was from the trailer. Yeah, AAA is like Hollywood. Here we go.
Bungie HQ here in beautiful Washington, where we're coming to you live with the opportunity to share a little bit of marathon gameplay with you for the very first time. My name's Andy. I work on the social media team here, and we've got an awesome show lined up for you with a little surprise at the end that you're going to want to stick around to. So make sure to go ahead and not tune out early. But no need to worry. You're not going to have to sit here and listen to me. I'm joined by some of my teammates here at Bungie to walk us through some of what we're going to be seeing today. So no time like the present. Let's get into the show. First things first, this gentleman here to my right, to your left, is Marathon's game director, Mr. Joe Ziegler. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Like, super excited to finally show something about our game. You know, we've been a little bit silent for a while, but we're hoping you'll have a lot of fun today.
Yeah, we'll have another video in addition to one of just you in your office hanging out.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I won't be talking for like 20 minutes straight this time. I promise, yeah.
So for anyone out there that may not know you or what you do here, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
I work with a lot of amazing people, some of the people on this stage, a lot of people who are sort of in the audience here today.
Yo, Casey, thanks.
Like, my goal is ultimately to take sort of all the ideas that we have, bring them together into a singular experience, and help to deliver that experience as a single thread. So, just love that.
Thank you very much for being here today, man. And
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. As we go on down the line, we're also joined by a man who's been instrumental in bringing the worlds of both games and film to life, our franchise art director, Mr. Joe Cross. Joe, how's it going? Joe, for anyone, obviously you've got some fans here, but for anyone out there in the audience at home that may not know you or doesn't get a chance to work with you, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here?
Yeah, so I'm Joe Cross. I'm franchise art director of Marathon. And you know, my job is to sort of set the tone and the vision, the visual style of this, reimagine this IP and this amazing game. And then, you know, make sure that our world-class art team is set up for success. Paving the way a bit.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for everything. We're going to have a lot to dig into today, so thank you for being here as well.
Thank you.
As we go right on down the line, we have, without a doubt, the most important Andrew on this stage here today, our gameplay director, Mr. Andrew Witz. How's it going, Witz? Witz, for anyone out there that may be just meeting you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, Andrew Witz. I'm the gameplay director. What basically means is I had to work with a bunch of awesome people to set up what the sandbox, the survival sandbox of Marathon is going to be. So that's runners, weapons and equipment, and the combatants, the UESC. They're going to be hunting players on Tau Ceti. So yeah, what up to the gameplay team? Thank you all for all your work.
And of course, last but exceptionally not least, someone who you've probably seen in Bungie Vidocs in the past and someone who's been able to help guide design here at Bungie since Halo 3. The one, the only Mr. Senior Design Lead here, rather, the one, the only Mr. Lars Bakken.
Yeah, the art is amazing.
Lars, we're back.
You could say Marathon's back.
You could. I'll leave that to you, though. Well, for anyone out there in the audience who may not get that reference and is just meeting you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Yeah, my name is Lars Bakken. I'm a senior design lead on the Run team. Shout out to Run team, everyone that's out there right now. A lot of fans out there. So the Run team is consisting of, we make the maps, so the zones that you're going into. We make the activities, so we take some of the cool stuff that Andrew's team, we remix it, we add the UESC in, we make them real difficult on purpose. And then we also have the contracts team, which are the factions, the corporations that players are sort of doing deals with because they're mercenaries. And that gets a little bit down into sort of the missions and everything. And so that's the stuff I hopefully make everyone proud with.
Well, we'll get into that here very shortly, but no, thank you all for starters all for being here. Before we get started as well, a quick reminder, do yourself a favor, make sure you've got your Bungie and your Twitch account linked to make sure you don't miss out on the Twitch drop that's going on right now. And if you also go ahead and subscribe to any channel in the Marathon directory, you can get a special little cat badge next to your name to go ahead and show everyone that you were here today. So go out there, find a streamer you haven't found before, and make sure and drop a sub out there and share the love. And also, if you have dropped your sub here on Marathon the Game, worry not, that money all goes to the Bungie Foundation, so thank you for helping us help them do some good out there. And now we have a big show again lined up. We've got some gameplay on the way coming up very shortly. We had a chance to go ahead and work with some creators and press very recently, and we're going to show you what they thought of the game. And of course, again, I'll repeat myself, but we've got something really great for you at the end of the show, so make sure and stick around. But again, the purpose of today is to show off some gameplay. Mr. Joe Ziegler, I'd love to hand the mic to you for this next part.
Yeah, so before we get started, obviously there's a lot to talk about today. We have a little bit of a taste to show you about what our game is about, just to kick us off, so we can put some images to what we've been talking about here. So let's take a look.
All right.
dream is not over. My dream. Yours. Now. Run.
It is cool looking. September the 23rd, it says.
All right. Everyone, first things first, you saw that correctly. Marathon will be releasing just later this year on September 23rd, so you'll be able to ship out to Tau City very shortly. And in addition to that, coming just later this month on April 23rd, we're going to be running a closed alpha test that you can be a part of. Now, as a quick heads up, this is going to be focused on North America, 18 plus only. So there's going to be a big chance to play up front, but don't worry, there's going to be other opportunities to play later. So to make sure you're caught up with all the details and you're ready to go, do yourself a favor, head over to our Discord at discord.gg/marathon.
I know what you mean about the Tron,
and of course,
the Tron feeling
if you're
in there
Twitch chat
too.
with us today, then you've already done yourself a big favor. Members of our community and moderation teams are going to be going out and looking for folks to drop codes to as well to make sure that you can get priority access when the alpha kicks off. So go ahead and keep an eye out on your inbox. There's no exclamation point drops or anything you need to do, though I'm sure folks will do it anyway. But worry not, you've gone ahead and done yourself a favor by being here today. But let's get into it. What did we just see?
A lot of death, you know, is first what we all saw. But honestly, you saw a first glimpse of some of what's going on in Marathon, you know, our extraction shooter that we're creating over here. And it's got a little bit of everything. It's got some runners in there. It's got some weapons in there. It's got some crazy stuff happening, but yeah.
Yeah, a little taste of the weapons in there. You saw some alternate weapon actions. The flip scope is in there, so weapons are going to do more than just shoot, obviously. It's a Bungie game. We got to like really push things. Yeah, a lot of runner abilities are in there as well. The UESC, obviously a little taste of the UESC and what they're capable of. Yeah, a lot of awesome stuff.
And some fun world interactions too. Like there's that sequence where the shutters go down and then everything goes wrong for the team that's in that room. But that's, yeah, it's pretty cool to see those things.
Yeah, everything goes wrong, the Andy Salisbury story. Mr. Ziegler, so why are we making Marathon? Why is Bungie going into the extraction shooter space?
I mean, extraction shooters are something that are passion of all of ours. Like we really like the idea of bringing this experience that we've all enjoyed, which is this kind of intense survival-based experience where you are frequently unsure of what's going to happen next, but you're on that adventurous ride of it. You know, we talk about it sort of like it's a horror story that's kind of unfolding before you, and testing yourself to see if you can survive it. And we really wanted to take that and sort of, I don't know, bring a lot more people into it. When you love something, you really kind of want to just, you know, attract others to it, and so you can have a bigger party with it. And so, yeah, we've been doing a lot of work to make that happen.
Yeah, no, it shows. And you know, Lars, obviously, Bungie's got a long history of shooters, but this is a new type altogether for us to dive into. From your side, what's it been like designing for all of this?
It's been fantastic. So when I started at Bungie, it was on the multiplayer team. And I am a competitive person in my nature. I really enjoy PvP. And so having to take that in the Marathon game and think about every single angle of every design, knowing that there will be other human beings in, around, and on the other side of it has just been fascinating and really exhilarating for myself personally, and I also know for the team.
Yeah, it's been really exciting to see. And you know, obviously, you mentioned we saw a lot. We saw some runners. Mr. Witz, can you do me a favor and help introduce these 4 runners that are going to be available when the closed alpha test begins?
Yeah, for sure. We'll have 6 runners at launch, but we're focusing on the core 4 here they're going to be in the alpha. So going left to right, we have Locust. Locust is our soldier kind of fantasy, our soldier kit, all about push forward gameplay, right? The first one in, trying to get as many picks as possible, right? Against either the UESC or other players. Next, we have Blackbird. It's very reconnaissance-based kit, all about like figuring out where players and enemies are in general and punishing poor positioning. Glitch is like our agile disruptor kind of kit, all about pushing forward, disrupting enemy teams and what they're doing and getting out and kind of having that kind of cycle. Void is our stealth boy, our sneaky boy, all about throwing down smokes, going a full active camo cloak into the darkness, getting some reses, and then taking some people by surprise. So yeah, this is our core 4 right now for Alpha.
A lot of different playstyles to choose from out of the gate. And even furthermore, Joe Cross, also, if anyone's not following Joe Cross on Twitter, do yourself a favor and do so. But you've been sharing some art with these runners pretty recently out there on Twitter with everyone. Before the show, we were talking a little bit, and I've heard this come up a lot, but you guys have been working off of this concept of graphic realism. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and what that means for the design here?
Yeah, it's one of our ingredients that we've sort of conjured up to help us define the visual world. For these runners, the first thing we wanted to make sure was their visual fantasy reflected the gameplay fantasy well. And then we sort of have our unique recipe of influences and inspirations for the reimagining of this world. And one of those sort of constraints we've created is this idea of graphic realism, where we kind of reduce the amount of geometry, we limit our materials, we use a lot of graphic design and color. And we sort of use it as a tool to onboard artists who are working on the project. And then it doesn't hurt to have a world-class concept team cranking this stuff out. And that's sort of the origin of a lot of these designs.
Yeah. And obviously the world of Marathon has so much legacy.
Yeah, the classes thing I'm really not sure about.
Playing it, I know it well myself. But what's it been like stepping into this world?
It's amazing. For art geeks out there, the sort of the father of the Marathon visual world in a lot of ways is this guy, Craig Mullins, who you see art represented on the left, started out as a fan, then got incorporated into the IP officially by Bungie. And so his legacy looms super large. And we've always tried to, pay attention, pay homage, make sure we were doing justice. And you can see here in the center, this is kind of a proto-runner. We developed early in the process to make sure that our sort of approach to graphic realism and style lined up and sort of represented that. And then on the right here, sort of an evolution into one of our actual runners here, Blackbird, with a similar fantasy and composition. So I think it's working out well, and I think we're doing something new, but also sort of looking back.
It's like a 3-panel study on how to hold the spine, right? Is what you're looking at.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah.
Is it a spine?
I don't know.
It seems like there's 6 classes, yeah. I don't know, is that hero shooter or is it class-based? I'm not really sure.
If anyone out there
It looks quite hero-y to me.
Go ahead and drop them in. We're going to try and answer as many as we can. We're going to be showing, again, a lot of stuff today. So if you've got anything that comes to mind, please feel free to throw it in there. Folks on the community team are going to be keeping an eye out. But we've obviously got a chance to go ahead and dive a little deeper. We've done some telling. Let's go ahead and do some more showing.
This looks like a lot more like that other one.
More Marathon gameplay.
What was that one that Rilo covered? That really graphic. Can't remember what it's called now. You're Not the Guy, that one. Forever Winter, that's the one. Okay. Thanks, Clunks.
Marathon is a team-based extraction shooter set around the mysterious and cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4.
Rip solos.
You are a runner, a cybernetic mercenary who's given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and fast-paced combat. Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest. You'll face rival runners in zones of up to 18 players, countless security forces, and otherworldly threats.
It's quite a lot of people.
To scavenge the remains of a lost colony for glory and fortune. The environments of Tau Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge throughout the map. Before deploying, you'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner to ensure you're equipped for the run ahead. Your objective is simple. Get in, gather as much loot as you can, and make it out alive. Die, and all your gear will be up for grabs. Survive, and your loot can be taken into future runs as you grow in power and fill your vault.
Yeah, this is alpha footage, it seems.
Death is inevitable, but it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents, and in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top. And even if you're down on your luck, factions can sponsor you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight. Bungie brings its best-in-class first-person multiplayer action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay, runners with unique playstyles, and customizable builds create highly dynamic and strategic team fights. Whether you're on a zero-to-hero run or high-rolling with powerful gear, you'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how. Because
Thanks,
no
Tyler.
matter how geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge. Marathon is designed to be played in crews, with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out.
So you have to play it as a 3, basically.
Death is not the end. And if you're the last one standing, you can overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot. And if you believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner. No 2 runs in Marathon ever play out the same. With dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll have to adapt on the fly if you want to survive. Each run has a time limit, and anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction reputation? Slip into the shadows as Void and ghost past your enemies. Search the map for rare materials and profit opportunities without being discovered. Want to push enemy teams and steal their loot? Bring in Glitch with agility implants and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your friends? Grab extra equipment, shield charges, and a specialized backpack to be the lifeline they need.
Way more.
You're always free to experiment with team compositions, and the only limit to how you want to play your runner is your loot and imagination. Endgame challenges, ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4. Remember, you're only ever one run away from your next big score.
At least they said solos. They mentioned it.
All right.
Persistent Apex Legends.
All right. Let's get into breaking this down. So I think for starters, again, as we touched on before the break, Bungie has such a rich history with Marathon. Joe Cross, from your standpoint, facilitating this gameplay with your art style. Again, what was it like kind of approaching this from your perspective? What were you looking to do?
Build on a legacy. The narrative of Marathon is incredibly rich and inspirational, easy sort of inspiration for art. I also love just sort of having the keys to this car from this era, working on a game from this era. I love older games. I love the way the games look from the PS1, PS2 era. So there was a lot for us, and like I said, paying homage to some of the great sort of iconic artists of the time. So
yeah. And also we had some keen-eared folks in chat. I think it's Joey Wolffinder asked if this is Ben Starr. Yep, Ben Starr was.
Yeah, I really hope there's some customization.
Great voice, right?
Yeah.
And how the builds work.
He's almost an Andrew Witz, but he does his best. But all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot with a tough one.
23rd of September is coming out.
Runner.
Ooh, controversial question. I play a variety of them, but I will say probably the one I end up playing the most is Blackbird. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Any Blackbird mains out there? I like playing Blackbird because it's a great crew runner. Like it's in terms of being able to provide a lot of information, provide a lot of support. It's also a great runner that's kind of helps to counter a lot of strategies that can occur, especially ambush strategies that happen. Also to catch Void out of position if Void's trying to hide. So yeah, there's a lot of versatility to how you can play it.
Very fun, Mr. Witz. I think you and I share the same main. I got to ask as well. Who's your go-to runner?
Oh, I split my time between Locust. I'm a very push-forward kind of player, as Joe reminds me all the time, because I'm pushing too much, too often.
You don't even have a W key. It just goes.
I just love to go fast forward. That's right. Yeah. And so, like, yeah, that push-forward gameplay that Locust kind of has, right, being like the first to try and get a pick, you know.
Like outside of art, what's different between this and Delta Force?
I like to play Glitch a lot too. Again, like, I really love that disruption playstyle. I love just finding an enemy crew.
From what we've seen.
Trying to exfil, trying to extract, and then like taking
That's my only worry.
The arm cannon and just knocking them out of like the zone, and now they're trapped with me and hopefully my teammates. Joe.
I'm scanning. I'm looking for enemies. It's good, yeah.
It does have PV.
To that same end, actually, as you guys kind of discuss the runners, Destas in chat asks, what's the pacing targets to the gameplay? Are there any movement or traversal mechanics?
There are a lot of movement and traversal mechanics inside of the game, but it varies. Your effectiveness varies per runner. Yeah.
Yeah, like everything in like we're making like a survival sandbox, which means everything kind of has to have a cost, right? And so like going, if you want to go fast, like Locust has like a super sprint, so to speak. Like they have leg jets that kind of come on to help you sprint even faster. That causes heat. So basically, it's almost like a stamina system, but we call it heat because we're these awesome mercenary cyborgs, right? Where like the body overheats, and so this character has like some mobility, but you overheat quite a bit. So that's kind of the cost that's there, and so that's what pushes us into like finding implants that maybe like expand like how much like your heat meter, and also give you more agility, so you can even go even faster, right? So yeah, there's a lot of cost in the game in terms of when we place a mobility thing in there, we really want to make sure. It's like, how does this affect the pace, and how does this affect the overall survival sandbox?
And to be fair, we're still looking at the alpha builds. We got to balance a lot of stuff because some stuff is kind of sketchy. Yeah.
No, there's a lot to learn. That's why we're doing this.
I'm just not sure what makes this unique gameplay-wise so
we're
far.
Talking about kind of those finer details. Witz, I'd love to still kind of bug you a little bit. In Marathon, build crafting is a big deal. What does that mean in the world that you guys are building?
Okay, this could be important.
So like the runners are essentially like a base, right? And so each runner has, they have a bunch of implants that you can kind of find that do kind of wild things, and like as they go up in rarity, right? There's a lot of stats, so you can increase your resistance to certain things. So like Tox is one, so you can essentially be poisoned, right, as our Tox, and so you can build up resistances to that. You can increase your agility. There's shields, obviously, to make you a bit more durable. We have cores. Cores are really cool. They basically give you like extra passives. And at the base rarity, like they have these kind of passives that you kind of play around. At the highest rarity, they are specific to the runner kit that you have, the runner you're playing. And what they do is they really augment your abilities wildly, right? So you can, you know, you're doing one thing and then you get like a core specifically for glitch, and now you're like, oh, my double jump is a triple jump? Like that's how much we want to kind of push that, so that gear really matters. And so builds are like completely the implants, the cores, weapons, weapon attachments. Weapons have like a pretty cool progression too.
The example that he's given.
Gold mods, which are kind of like the highest end of the attachment pool. They're essentially like
don't sound that exciting
in our game, right?
I don't want to be down B.
Version of this Magnum that can do some wild stuff. So yeah, like really, it's the entire package together is what the build crafting experience is in Marathon.
That's super exciting. And actually, to that same end, we got a question in chat.
It's just like a bit like more agility, a bit more health.
How many players are going to be in each map?
Varies per map.
Yeah, it varies per map.
Got it.
The footage that people have seen a lot of, Dire Marsh, we support up to 18 players.
Excellent. Okay, all right, so going to be room for a lot of play styles. To that same end, I know we talked a little bit about Void earlier as well. Lars, can you walk us through maybe just your play style when you're approaching any of these runs?
Sure, yeah.
Let's go ahead and sell out the best strategy.
I have to give away my secrets. So Void is really fun for me because it leans into this part of my personality that is like very devious. And so, you know, if you go on a run with me, I'll be like, hey, any claymores you see, let me know. And I'm putting those in my backpack, and I'm doing crazy things like, okay, so Void has a prime ability that sends out, I think you saw it in the video, it sends like a wall of smoke that sort of like your home base when you do that. It's a portable. Because when you go in that, you become invisible. You get automatic active camo. So I'll do things like set that up to make people believe I'm doing one thing and then do another. So a lot of subversive things. I'll go in there and I'll claymore the inside, right? Someone comes in after me, they're gonna have a very bad time. But I also do things like I'll go to a place in the zone where there's high tier loot, and I'll claymore it up, and then close all the doors and leave, and be like, I wonder if anyone's gonna show up. And then sure enough, maybe 5 minutes later, I see the shield crack in the HUD, and I'm like, yes, I can go back and see what's going on. So yeah, that's how I like to play.
Yeah. How about you, Joe Cross? What's your go-to?
Well, if you know me, I'd rather look good and lose. So I generally,
a lot of the Tarkov player base will agree to that, I think.
And in this lineup, I think that's clearly Blackbird. As far as my play style, I'm typically just a decoy. So
it's like, Joe, go over there.
Yeah, exactly. I
look really great.
Yeah, exactly. Just stand in the open for a little bit. Yeah.
So it's the end of my run story.
Fair. Well, we want to thank you all for your collective sacrifice. We appreciate it. So actually, to that same end, obviously we do a lot of playtesting here internally. Witz, I know you mentioned you've got a folder of some of your best plays, but what are some of your most memorable runs so far?
Some of my memorable runs are really when I think I'm going to be doing one thing, right? Like, okay, I'm going to do a contract. I'm going to be going here. I got to go into this room. I got to interact with this device. And I think it's like, I'm safe, like I'm kind of doing like a routine thing. I can get in and get out if I'm like smart about it and really kind of listen for what's going on. Like there's no UESC around, there's no players around. And oftentimes there's another player, like the best moments is there's another crew that are going for the exact same thing. And there's this moment of like you're about to turn the key to get into a locked room, and then the other team is right there and you're like, oh crap. Like, and then you're like, this is all out war in like a hallway that seems to be like a regular hallway, but now it's just like it just gets crazy. And so I think those are the peaks that happen where there's these tense moments you're trying to do something that lead to these very quick crescendos where, these mercenaries kind of going crazy. Like all these players are jumping in.
You make it sound like you're playing so carefully, but you're not.
Listen, the tactics are happening fast.
Okay.
They're
It's just processing power.
The math is going. Like it's happening.
It's improvisational, right? Yeah. It sounds like, runs can obviously entail a lot, but we also have a question from Sharky218. Is loot going to be just weapons, or is there going to be more for people to go after while they're out there in Tau Ceti?
There's a ton of loot.
There's a ton of loot.
Yeah, there's implants, there's cores, there's equipment. There's
grenades.
Consumables.
Let's talk about grenades.
Yeah, there's grenades.
That's one of the issues with the cycle, right? The cycle had like boring loot.
Grenades in the game as well that you can loot in the world. We have valuables. We have backpacks. Yeah, attachments, weapons, materials, keys.
And there's a bunch of stuff too that we're just we call valuables, but like there's times when you're running low on money and you're like, I just need to do a valuables run right now, and I need to pick up these things and get my money, into my space bank. So.
Space bank, yeah.
That actually is a good segue from, and I'm not making this name up, Ballin' Hobo asks, what do I do with the loot when I extract? Like, why does it matter in the long run?
Yeah, there's a variety of reasons. So a lot of it was related to sort of our factions and contract system. But if you want to talk a little bit about that, Lars.
Yeah, we've got this entire system we call factions. You're doing contracts, they're like missions, and you are being greeted originally by AI representative because you are a mercenary. You don't really have allegiance to anyone. They are going to pay you to do these jobs, and so they'll give you these missions to do. And as you're doing these missions, like Andrew said, sometimes you'll run into danger. But the cool thing about, I think, a lot of the faction and the contract system is like, you could complete download the agricultural survey from this one area on one of the zones, and you're doing the thing, and you've sort of done it So even if you die, you've still made progress there, which I think is a really cool aspect of that feature. But then there's also this other meta layer where as you're working with the different factions, they allow you to upgrade yourself over time. And so you can increase your heat meter, you can increase your loot speed, things like that.
I was gonna say, you're trying to get as much loot as possible to meet the challenge of the world, right?
Yeah.
Like essentially, different missions get harder over time, right? Which means you want to have more loot on you so you can survive longer, so just in general, be able to do fight all the different, hostile entities in the world, get through there's a POI on a zone that's heavily fortified by UESC and all of the different units that are there, the snipers, the assault units, you want to be able to not only withstand that and players. So there's a lot of reasons why you want
It just sounds like the
And
usual
honestly,
extraction
a lot of the
shooter
loot
stuff.
translates into things like upgrades, that you
Which is fine.
Actions, but there's also an in-game store called the Black Market where you can use a lot of your currency and things like that to actually re-equip yourself if you go on a bad run, or to upgrade yourself if you need anything from that space. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to get a lot of good loot out. I don't think I'm ever short of reasons to get loot out.
That just says something else about me, though. I'm just a loot goblin. So sometimes extraction shooters also can be seen as kind of hardcore and maybe tough to get into. What are some of the things that you guys are doing to make them easier to dive into?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that we could talk about. One is we are obviously investing, besides doing a little bit more.
It sounds like there's a
onboarding in the
base
front end
kit.
so players can understand a little bit about what the nature of the game mode is. We're also doing a lot to make combat something that's a little bit more approachable, but also just equally as deep, and have pretty wide things. But I think Andrew could talk about it.
Yeah, we want to make this is a Bungie shooter, right? We want to make sure it's approachable. We nail those fantasies. Every button press feels awesome, right? And so really trying to bring that kind of morph the Bungie action game into in the survival space, where again everything kind of costs something, right? Getting shot, you're not going to have a limb system where your limb's broken or anything, but you will guns do stopping power, right? Which they can knock you out of sprint, they can slow you down, right? Status effects are still in the game, and so if you are hit with a chem grenade, right, you're going to be toxed. You can be immobilized, right, which really slows you down. You can be overheated. There's all these things, and that pushes you into using consumables and making sure you have an answer for these things that happen. So we're trying to make sure that you keep the depth of the survival game, but the approachability of the action game, right? And so that's how we're trying to marry that together. In addition to that, if you have some bad runs, right, and you don't have a lot of, you see your loot kind of going down, we have the sponsored kits, it's kind of talking in the video earlier, where it's a package of gameplay items like weapons or equipment, or maybe a shield or something, or consumables. That's kind of the floor for what we think you can be really
that is a good idea
in the environment, and actually fight other players that actually are kitted out. So you're never feeling the goal is that you can always clutch, even if you find somebody who's completed kitted out in really high-end gear.
It's kind of required now,
right? That's the beauty of the moment of oh my god, I took this player and they have the best shield in the game. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hurts. I mean, obviously, going to be a lot of good pointers for folks at home taking notes for when they get a chance to get into the alpha. But we'd be remiss if we also didn't mention how a big part of what we do here at Bungie is working alongside our community, which is why we've also had the chance since about 2022 to work with hundreds of different creators in our community as well, to go ahead and get some of their feedback. So to those of you out there that have joined us, thank you very much for your time and your opinions. They mean a lot. But no need to listen to me talk about it. We actually just last week had a bunch of folks in here to go ahead and play test the very same alpha build that some of you will have a chance to join in on as well. So I vote I go ahead and let you tell them about it in their own words.
You kind of feel the blood pumping.
Got him, got him, got him.
Look at the boys and girls.
And again, 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 and again.
This is a new world. This is a different take on an extraction shooter.
No!
Is it though?
It's game changing. It is literally game changing.
It doesn't sound that different. The art's cool, but it doesn't sound very different.
You are the first group outside of Bungie to playtest our alpha build.
The big question, right, and I hate to talk over it, but the big question to ask is not why should we go in and loot? It's why should I go in and loot in this extraction shooter? And not in Tarkov, and not in Delta Force, and not in Hunt Showdown, and not in whatever, right? That's the real question. Why should I go in and loot and progress in this game? it's not like it used to be, right? Tarkov could just be like, oh, here's why we loot in Tarkov, because it's the extraction shooter. Now an extraction shooter has to answer, why should I progress in an RPG style game with you and not with someone else? What's different? What makes me feel different? What gives me the some new experience compared to the others? Otherwise, it's just another grind. I don't understand what's different about this other than the art style, in my opinion. It needs to be something gameplay that's like really different.
Okay, so for the gang, there is fall damage, and it is severe if you
I'm just concerned hearing what they talk about with like, oh, yeah, you can get like, oh, more shield and like more overheat, and maybe you can double jump and stuff, and it's like, is that interesting enough?
AI on the right.
From what I've seen so far, like, no.
Yeah, more AI inside the
Are there wipes? No idea. They haven't said.
A hostile unit is calling for reinforcements.
Skill-based matchmaking is not necessarily bad. It's just it's different, right? Hunt Showdown has skill-based matchmaking, for example, and that's still a good game.
Yep. Oh, I got AI over here like crazy.
Oh my god, you didn't shut up.
30 FPS. I mean, I'm sure the frames will be alright.
AI with a snipe up above is looking at me.
What's really funny about extraction shooters is that the combat is almost like the least important part. Like, obviously it's important, right? But like, it has to be good or the game won't be good. But that's like the minimum benchmark that you need to meet.
That's all of them.
About the stream quality, I mean, this is on Twitch, right? So whatever.
Either way, I'm getting shredded right now, so I gotta
clear the AI outside first. They're just gonna beam us if we don't get rid of them.
Yep.
What?
That's a purple one.
Wait, the one that fire like 5 knees are
The grenadiers, yeah, they're pretty great.
So I want to see a bit more of actually doing the stuff.
Oh, one of the guys you killed had just been weapons on him. Poor guy. Oh, mechanics here.
Self-revives too. I don't know. There's a down system, but I don't know about self-revives. I'm not sure. They look like Lego Minecraft. It reminds me of BattleBit, actually. The guns remind me of BattleBit. Any only alpha? I don't think so. It just said it's quite limited outside of NA.
I'm unlocking the box. AI dropping in, big ones too.
So there is AI as well. A lot of fighting. I mean, they're showcasing a lot of fighting. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
They've got long shots in too. Oh. Yeah. That's gotta be. It's gotta be.
I feel like leading should be an auto-include. When it's missing, it's turned off for me. Not a deal breaker for me, but I think it's cool.
Where are they?
Does the target audience match with Tarkov? Doesn't look like it.
I got one knocked.
Nice.
It feels like the target audience might match with like DMZ. Feels a closer fit for maybe DMZ. There's obviously an overlap, but yeah, it looks like BattleBit, exactly. The guns look like BattleBit guns. Which is kind of weird, because the rest of it's not like actually that blocky, bizarrely. Apex, maybe? Maybe.
Don't underestimate this guy. Oh my god, that's it. He killed 2, I think it's 1v1. Ben, you knocked one, I knocked another.
I wonder if there's friendly fire. All the stream will say it's amazing, then after a week it'll be dead. I mean, yeah, of course, right? Of course, they kind of have to. Even if they don't say, right? They still sort of have to.
A unit is signaling for reinforcements.
Okay,
Looks more like a BR.
The knock
Sort of feels like that in some ways.
Over here, I don't see anybody over there yet.
He's been quiet for an awful long time. I reckon he's gone to right.
I mean, depending on how an extraction shooter is done, it looks more or less like a BR.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tell me if they red.
That's a guy. Yeah, he's holding the angle at a distance.
Sniped a sniper.
I mean, you know my feelings about like 3-player shooters. I'm always a bit, high TTK, 3 players. It's like. I like that Tarkov allows you to go solo or as a team, and there's like a double-edged sword. They did mention that you could maybe play it solo, but with high TTK you just never can really.
Knocked one.
I mean, at least a shotty gets them down in one shot. There is a self-revive, he just got the prompt. Oh, okay.
No, they're close. I got no tags. Oh.
There.
You got eyes?
Yeah, A1.
Oh, is that him up there? Is that him up there?
Judging by the people who have been asked to stream, they're targeting Tarkov players? Yeah.
Yeah, hear him. Or is that USAC?
There's a USAC guy right there.
People are literally just calling it USEC, which is quite funny. It's like UESC in this game, but that's obviously going to happen. Is that like the AI faction? I still haven't quite figured that out. Apex with loot extraction tacked on? Sort of seems like it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty confident.
If they build God squads, you could say. I feel like we might be the God squad.
That was good. That was a good run.
Yeah.
Helldive is a good example of taking a known quantity and expanding on it. Yeah. It just almost feels like there's too much like similar stuff.
Yeah, it's right here. Where did I just hear that thought?
What are some other shooters you play? I mean, I hardly play any other shooters outside of EFT these days because it's because I do pretty much all my gaming time on stream. Outside of stream, I don't play that many shooting games really. Hunt Showdown was the other one that I played recently. I played BattleBit for a while. That was fun.
Oh my god, I'm dead. Yeah, something's sucking me.
What is this?
It's a purple shield.
Hearts of Iron? I've not played it. The sound design is good, I will say, actually, B-Man. Yeah, the sound design does sound quite nice.
4 times and had to dump a full mag into it.
Really?
Way too bullet spongy for solos? Probably, yeah. For 3 shield, 3 health bars, finish them off when they're downed. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna suck for solos, I think. But whatever.
Okay.
This is the thing, for an extraction shooter, it's all the stuff around the game that makes the game. Like, why do you want to come back? It's all the stuff around the game. It's not just the shooting or whatever. It's like, how do you feel when you loot? How does that feel when you get out? How does it feel when you die?
What's the question marks again?
Is it satisfying? Like, that's the thing. It's less about the... It's as much about the gameplay as it is about, like, the meta around the game. Because it's an RPG, ultimately, in some way.
Like the cash players?
Yeah, I don't know.
Players.
Right, while they're doing this, should we... oh, actually, how am I going to do this? Give me a sec. I'm going to have to open up my... I'm going to have to open up my own stream.
Purple shield, I knocked one.
Should we give away some codes? So these are some kind of funny old code. Don't really know exactly what these are. They're like so they're codes to prioritize alpha key access, but they don't guarantee it. Basically, gonna have to do it on Twitch. So if you want to get a key or get a chance to get a key, then you have to be in Twitch chat.
Oh, she's scared.
It's going to be on console as well, it seems. Yes, maybe it'll be popular there. Could be. It could be. I don't want the code anymore. I mean, at least you get the option.
Very
Up to you.
nice. I called it purple.
Up to you.
Yeah, I want the
Is it a Steam key? No, it's some kind of Bungie. It's a Bungie key.
Purple shield. Who had that?
It's a kind of Bungie key.
The
Okay.
big items, the big drops, the stuff that's like really high value. They're like, I have to get this out.
Have it turned launch or Steam? Not sure yet.
If I've got a better aim, I'm going to win. There's no other extraction shooter like that where I can have that kind of gameplay.
When people find
So like
out about
Apex.
some of the secrets and stuff, they are going to lose their mind.
Prioritize alpha key access won't guarantee it. Yeah, it's like it basically enters you into like a prioritized thing. It doesn't guarantee it, but it gives you a better chance. Apparently. That's what they said.
This being sort of the next full Bungie experience is an exciting moment.
The game is inherently fun. I just want to play more.
Okay. Pick a number between, on Twitch chat, pick a number between 1 and 20.
Was a whole lot of fun.
If you get the right number, I'll whisper you the first code.
It's been a great time
We'll just
getting
start
set
doing
that up.
them.
And of course, I promise I'm not saying this just because I work on the social media team here, but if you head over to our YouTube channel,
For
we
the
have a
memes.
full 20-minute version of that.
Keep going, no one's got it yet.
YouTube.com @Marathon the Game is where to find us. Also, same with all of our other
Ah,
socials, as long as I'm at
biker.
it.
There you go.
But Lars, obviously, again, like we talked about before that video, we're familiar with working with our
Biker's got the
community
first
closely,
one.
But have we ever done it this early or at this scale
Let's
before?
trial this.
So I've been at Bungie for a while now, since the Halo 3 days, and I think the thing, even since my time, we've been really good about is working with players, working with the community. It's something we take pride
All right, Biker won the first one.
and on this game in particular, yeah, we brought people in, players in much earlier into the process than I think we ever have before, and it's given us really good insight. You know, we tell them when they show up, be brutally honest, because that's how we learn. That's how we understand what needs to change, what needs to get better. And
Well, we got a few of these. We may as well do another one. Right, let's go again. Let's go again.
Fun. I mean, even again, like these folks were all here last week. You guys were in there with some of you playing as well. What was it like?
Oh, it's
1
super
to 20,
exciting.
remember?
And then, like when you have a lot of well, there was a combination of players who we've been engaging with for a long time, and some players.
Keep
who are
going,
brand new.
friends.
And it was great to see sort of like the mix.
There
of
you go,
both.
Real's got it, 17 this
especially when
time.
you got to some higher level skilled players who just joined in and immediately got it and started destroying everybody, like tens and Lupo was in there. But yeah.
It's annoying when it moves like this because then I can't like get the whisper out.
So it was pretty amazing to jump in, and I'm gonna throw Nick under the bus for a moment here. Like apparently he was on the team with Brian and Jeff Keighley, and they were not having success. Y'all were like destroying them, the creators. And, yeah, it's probably your team that was destroying them. So I was brought in as like a hired gun to help.
Chat is so far ahead of the stream.
And
thank you.
I did my job.
It does seem surprising they're featuring so many EFT people. I kind of agree. It doesn't seem that like I don't know.
Accomplished levels, yeah.
Something that he's used to, obviously. Also, though, you were saying you were observing a little bit as well, maybe not playing quite as much. What was it like, from your perspective?
No worries,
You guys see
RVT.
all these folks jump in and play the game for the first time, some of them.
I mean, it was awesome. It's awesome like playing the game for so long, right? And seeing other people play the game is just a great feeling, right? For like the whole team. You get to see things that you designed for happen, and in real life, right? See.
I'm not sure if
people who
I'm
are,
the
like,
target audience,
being
guys.
hunted
Like, I
by
don't
other
know.
Players that take refuge by like we're a heavily fortified area, and watching the UESC equalize a little bit.
I mean, we'll see.
Moments like that was great. There was another fight that was like it looked so fun, but also hilarious, but also like really like. It was like a great time, but also really tense. There was two crews that were fighting under the dire marsh map. There's a bunch of tunnels and stuff like that, and they were fighting in the tunnels. And the fight was literally like almost 1-by-1s, like 3 and 3, like constantly moving towards each other and fighting in the hallway. The person in the front dropping meds for people in the back and changing positions, and that fight went into like little vents as well. So it was like this it was this hilarious chase that was like. It was super tense because you didn't know exactly whether you were going to get third party, and they were just the volume of the room kept on going up from those two crews because they were just like, where are they going to get flanked? There's another vent right there that could pop up from there.
I think maybe the graphics look a bit cluttered on stream because the quality's not like that great. I feel like it might look, if it's cleaner on your actual own screen, it might look quite
We were
nice.
mentioning you got to play. Were there any other creators you got to dive in with?
Yeah, I was on a team with Valkyrie and Katamina, and we had a lot of fun. There was like a couple moments where we bunkered down underneath a greenhouse in the tunnels underneath. Tunnels are dangerous and they were fun. But we basically created like a little claymore nest down there, and so we were baiting them down into it. And yeah, that was pretty successful. I'm telling you, the Claymore strats are good. Yeah. Don't sleep on Claymores. They're
Pretty
good.
solid.
Yeah.
Lars is like, I know.
Yeah.
So even in addition to these creators, the legacy of Marathon's community goes so long goes so far rather. As someone who's played a lot of Aleph 1 in the past as well myself, back on my Titanium G4 PowerBook so long ago, bringing in the Aleph 1 team was really, really exciting. You guys got a chance to work with them as well, isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting to sort of connect to the heritage of Marathon, right? Like to keep that alive as we're sort of building this new world. And so working with the Aleph 1 team has been really awesome with the Marathon Classic on Steam. Is the release that they had, as well as the Marathon Classic 2, I think, is on Steam as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, both of those, it's like sort of connecting the threads, if that makes sense, sort of remembering the past as we're sort of building this new.
Okay, I don't know. He's talking about whatever.
Re-envisioning in a lot of ways.
Let's do another one. Let's do another code.
Actually,
1 to 20.
As well about the dangers
Let's
of
go,
the
people.
world. We do have a question from Twitch chat. Are there dangerous PvE encounters? Obviously, you've mentioned that the UESC is out there, and you should underestimate them at your own peril. But can you tell us a little bit more about maybe some of those emergent?
Oh, Washington got it. Number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the UESC security units that are out there. There's a bunch of different types that do different things. So watch out for them.
Quite quick.
We also have ticks, which are these wonderful, surprising, explodey fauna. Yeah, they run at you. They run at you, explode on you, and you have to shoot the nests actually to get rid of them essentially. Otherwise, they'll keep coming. And there's a bunch of hazards and stuff that are be on the map as well. Like we have a bunch of tox rooms and all kinds of surprises that await players. And in the alpha there's a few, but
what's the scariest UESC unit to you?
The scariest unit? The Ghost Commander for me, for sure. The Ghost Commander, their ability is they go into active camo and they actually have clone. They have a bunch of clones that go out there, so you think you're not sure which one to shoot. And then by the time you recognize which one is actually the real one, right, it's it may be over for you. But that's one. The sniper, also love the sniper as well. We really want to have these prolonged sniper fights that are really great.
So there's a lot of PvE.
And if you manage to really push them and they notice you're pushing, they'll punish you for that too. So definitely be careful of these units. Tread carefully.
Not to be trifled with, right?
And the recruits, honestly, they have this rush down that they do. If you're not too careful at knowing where they're going to be flanking you and rushing you down from, we're purposely making them these formidable foes that you can't get treasure out of the world easily, and they're guarding it, and they're doing a pretty damn good job.
And you can't ignore them either. Once they're on your set, you kind of got to figure out a way.
Yes. Exactly.
Also, too, we've got another question from, I believe, Shepsky. Can a team be composed of any number of runner types, like 3 Blackbirds, for example?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
There's no restriction on how you assemble your crew. You can all play the same. You can create a meme comp if you want.
That's quite good.
Or you can diversify a little bit, and sort of try to use each other's utilities. But we've seen them all. It's been really cool to see kind of the different combinations we've seen. Yeah.
But you may never know, those 3 different players that are playing Blackbird, they may have very different builds and what they're gearing towards in Blackbird, right? They may be some of them, one of them may actually have implants that allow them to go in active camo. That's not a specific thing for a runner, so we're purposely trying to make it so that you can diversify.
I did see the shield wall comp, which is basically 3 locusts in the playtest from last week. But yeah,
let's go. So again, obviously, it's been so much fun to hear you guys even talking about this game and the experiences you've had. You've been building a world that's really ripe for players to tell their own stories in. Again, with the closed alpha on the way on April 23rd, as players finally get a chance, some of them to jump in. What are some of the stories you're most excited for them to get to dive in and maybe tell themselves?
So many. I mean, there's so many different stories that I think that we're looking forward to seeing happen, especially ones that we've never even seen before. But getting onto the planet, honestly, just trying to survive amongst all of the different threats that exist there. The dying, when our trail says death, it's death. There's a lot of death in the game. The learning from it, the challenging yourself, the getting back up and trying to do something new. It's gonna be exciting. I'm sure there's plenty of other things.
I'm curious, Mr. Cross. What are you expecting?
I mean, I'm had the fortune to launch Destiny and now Marathon. It's always amazing to put something out into the world that you've been working on, sort of in a bubble for 6 years or something like that, and have the players experience the visual world for the first time is amazing. Introducing the IP into the world, sort of beyond the game. Sort of the culture it creates. Always excited to see what the fans tell us what the game is and what the metas are and what the IP is, and so that exchange is always amazing.
Yeah, check out the Discord. It's getting wild in there right now. Wits, how about you? Anything come to mind on your side?
I'm just really excited for folks to discover the content and play with it in interesting ways. We've been making this meal for a bit. It's just time to see folks play, right? Like we've been making the sandbox for a bit. We've been working together on all the activities and everything in the world, right? It's just going to be exciting to see people react to it organically and learn from it.
Yeah, very exciting.
I'm also curious to see which runner will be the crowd favorite, out of the end. I have theories.
I know you have many theories.
Yeah.
Yeah, when how big the maps are, I agree.
Let us know. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking.
So closed off apparently starting on the 23rd. The game is coming on the 23rd of September.
Starters. Guys, thanks so much for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and thank everybody out there. Like our team is literally sitting behind these cameras here, and they're amazing. Like you should give yourselves a hand, for putting together. Also, there's an immense amount of staff here that has been super gracious and kind to come and help work with us on this. So just want to make sure all of you, let's give you a hand too. You've been doing an amazing job. Thank you.
Big rug. That is a big rug.
That's right. So again, as we noted at the top of the show, coming up at the very, very end, we've got a very special surprise. So go ahead and do yourself a favor and stick around all the way through till the end. But again, a huge thanks, Joe Ziegler, Joe Cross, Andrew Witz, and Lars Bach. And thank you all for being here today. And of course, again, to echo Ziegler, thank you so much to the entire dev team here at Bungie. Thank you so much for being here today. Whether you're here with us in person or you're at home, it's your contributions that make Marathon possible. So truly, thank you. It's honestly humbling to be here today. And again, of course, the crew here, thank you all so much for all of your hard work. It's been incredible seeing this stage come up so quickly rather. So thank you so much. It's been a gargantuan effort, and it's all thanks to your efforts. And most importantly, again, to all of you fine folks out there for joining us today. It's such a privilege for us to get the opportunity to share what we've been working on, and it matters most when you show up and join us. We know you have busy days, and we're thankful to be a part of it. So thank you for joining us here on this Saturday morning. And of course, we got something fun at the end. Make sure you stick around for a little bit longer. We're going to be rating Scarrow and Mr. Raffle Waffles, Milo, out there here just after the show ends. So go ahead and tell them we said hello when you get a chance to drop into their chat. But as has become kind of a tradition here at Bungie with our streams, we've saved just one more special thing here for you at the end. Now, we've told you a lot about the game so far, but we haven't had a chance to really touch on the narrative just yet, and we're really excited to build a story that's innovative in the extraction shooter space, both in and out of the game, and we'd love to show you a glimpse of that now. So we've had the opportunity to partner with Academy and Emmy Award-winning director Alberto Mielgo to go ahead and show you just a bit of a snapshot of what life is like on Tau Ceti. So we hope you enjoy, but in the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all Starside.
Okay, let's see what this is.
met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that it sculpt to well those passions red which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, lifeless thing that mocked them, and the heart that fed, and the heart that fed.
Welcome once again. Once again. As the new shell, feeling.
I mean, it feels just like what it is, right? Like $1 trillion.
Like $1 trillion.
Sakaguchi Genetics sent a reminder. Your shell repayment is coming up and will be charged against your line of credit.
Yeah, I know. Mind if we skip the formalities this time? Got a big contract waiting down there, so.
Understood. Let's proceed with your grounding exercise. Are you familiar with this item?
That's my lucky charm. Yeah. It's supposed to be my lucky charm.
Identify her?
Yeah, that's my mom.
That's your mom. Now, consider this. Do you recognize this child?
Who are you? I don't know.
It's you.
What? Really?
That you always tune into. Worth anything?
I don't know, but I like it. It speaks to me.
Let me listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you ever wonder what happened to these people?
It's not my business.
And this music is? You'll have a tough time finding a buyer.
Good. It's not for sale. Give it to me.
There's always another. I think the frame drops are just the stream. Hopefully they'll just upload this to YouTube later.
words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remain. Round the decay of that colossal wreck. Boundless and bare. The lone and level sands stretch far away.
Do you recognize this child?
I don't know. Is that me?
Interesting. Okay. I mean, that was sick. As a lot of people said, that reminds me a lot of like Love, Death, and Robots. It's got a very similar vibe to it. Almost seems like it would make a better series than it will do a game. I'd rather watch this as like a 10 episode series. It does, yeah. I don't know, man. Okay, so that's the end, right? So that's the end. Please disperse. Okay, interesting. All right, so what's the takeaway so far? I'm a bit concerned, basically, that in all the questions they were asked by the various people who were on in the chat and other stuff, that they couldn't really say anything that was going to be different about this game versus all the other extraction shooters that we've seen. That's the biggest problem that I think that this game has. And as I said, right, like they asked the question about like why do you need to loot and why does it even matter? And I feel like they actually struggled to answer that question a little bit, because they just said like, oh, well, you know, you want to like level up your traders and basically like level up your factions and get better stuff. But it's kind of the big question of why, right? And it's like, you don't just do that for nothing. Like you do that because, I don't know, it's hard to say now because I played Tarkov for so long, but there's, you know, the original reason why I thought Tarkov was so appealing was because there's this kind of like sort of power fantasy thing in Tarkov of like, oh, if I do this, I could become, you know, the Chad guy. Like I was always just like, you know, when I first played, I was like, how do you ever afford any of this stuff? This is crazy. But as I said during the stream, the question that they need to answer, because Tarkov is the incumbent, you know, so you have to beat Tarkov and the other games to become big in this genre now. So the question they have to answer is not like, why does loot and progression matter in this game? Like, why does that matter? Because there's always some trivial reason that they can put in the game through the mechanics to make it matter. But it's more about like, why should I loot and extract and progress in this game versus all the other extraction shooters? What experience am I going to get from this game that I don't get from Delta Force, for example, or I don't get from ABI, or I don't get from EFT, or I don't get from Hunt Showdown, or, you know, any of the others that have come and gone? And if they can't answer that question, then it honestly just won't really do well. I mean, yeah, maybe they have the Bungie thing, the console thing that will make people play it. You know, the DMZ players who like Call of Duty. Maybe that's sort of the target market, or some people from Apex are trying to bring over. As people have said, they're very heavily targeting Tarkov streamers on here, so it does look like they're looking at the extraction shooter like hardcore audience, but it doesn't look like a hardcore game. There's some good stuff in there. You know, they've taken the base kit from Dark and Darker. Like, that's sensible, to allow people to play without going broke and stuff. But it's just. I heard a lot of generic stuff about like how Tarkov extraction shooters work in here, but nothing that makes me think like, oh, this is a cool twist, that this is going to be completely different to EFT, or it's going to give me a different experience to EFT. Because somebody mentioned Helldivers earlier, right? And Helldivers is a great example, because Helldivers is technically an extraction shooter, third-person extraction shooter, but it is technically an extraction shooter. But no one ever talks about it that way, because it's a completely different spin, different take. It's got the progression through the stratagems, you know, and the various ship upgrades and stuff. It feels very different. And so even though it is actually technically an extraction shooter, it doesn't feel like it, and it's got a different. The whole premise of the game is not the same. Whereas this is pretty much like cookie cutter extraction shooter from what we've seen. Like, is there even a hideout? Like, are you just going to want, like, why do you want to go in and do Tarkov style tasks? This is the thing. And it's also a question that I ask of Greyzone Warfare, right? Which is why I'm excited for Greyzone's next update, because there's these PvP hotspots and capturing of fobs. That's different. That's something that we haven't seen in an extraction shooter yet. You know, it's a semi-persistent world. Each time you go into the server, you're in that for the whole session. Well, why does that matter? It doesn't matter unless there's some permanent thing that you can leave on the, mark on the server. You turn up in the server and it's in a certain state, and you can, benefit your faction by going and taking this fob and that fob and blah blah blah. That's something different for Greyzone that's like actually interesting. And like what was good for the cycle was the constant infill. So I mean, this game may also have constant infill. I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be more raid based like EFT is, but like continuous infill was the cycle's USP, and that really worked. I don't see any real USP here except for the art style, unfortunately. And it's like, okay, there's 4 like base classes that you can then build on. Sure, maybe the customization in that will be really good. Maybe there'll be like some sort of, not like a skill tree, but the almost like a rogue-like progression through, okay, I've got this augmentation, I've got that augmentation, and that builds on the stuff that I've got already, and that means I can build my build in this particular way. Like maybe that will be super customizable, and that will be more important than the gunplay and all the other, or like gun modding and all the other stuff that you normally get, because I don't know how much gun modding you can get in this. It's maybe a bit, but not a ton. But so far I don't see it right now. The most exciting part, as most people have said, right, was that trailer at the end, and that seems more like sort of 10-part mini-series type vibe as opposed to like a game, because trying to translate that vibe into an actual game is hard. It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Okay, right. So I'm gonna head off, but let's just do the rest of the codes that I've got here while we go. So over on Twitch again, we'll do the 1 to 20 thing. So go 1 to 20, and I'll pick somebody, and I've got like a few left, so we've got quite a few. So keep going 1 to 20. We'll pick a person. I'll tell you when someone picks it. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, Divisor, 19, Divisor, nice one. Good job. Oh, the chat, stop scrolling. My scroll bar won't work. Stop it. There we go. There you go. Okay. Right, hold off a second. Right, next one, go. Go. Oh, Goober got it. Goober, it's number 20. Good job, Goober. Got 1, 2, 3, 3 more. Go. Number 1 to 20. Number 1 to 20. Oh, Sovereign for number 5. Already done. That was really quick. Oops. Here we go. And then I've got... Which one was that one? Yeah, that was that. Okay, so there's 2 more. Right, let's go. 1 to 20. This is like... They're alpha codes, but they're not guaranteed. They're like priority or something. It's a bit of a weird system. Apparently it gives you a better chance. Oh, pit spawn. Pit spawn. Ah!
And I have 3 videos here to share with you that we're going to...
Pit spawn, there you go. Right, and then we have 1 more. Right, let's go. Oh, umbrella. Number 7. There you go. Okay. All right. That's it. Okay, right. It's cool. Well, we got to see it. I don't know. We're going to have to see. I'm not sure. We will see. But gameplay overview trailer on YouTube explains some more mechanics. But okay, I'm gonna have to go and watch that and figure it out. But like for now, I'm like, I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure right now. We'll have to see. But I'm really not sure. I hope it's good. I really want it to be great. I really want it to be great. It looks super cool. I do think some of the stream quality kind of messed it up a little bit, but I think they should have talked a bit more about what was actually in the game, and hopefully there's more in the game. But we'll see. Right. Anyway, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, everybody. I will probably be on Monday. I'll catch you around. Carry on enjoying the battle pass, and I will see you in a bit. Ciao for now.